Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. Really happy to be here. I'm Napasa, and this is my co host, Sam. Welcome on behalf of both of us here on Daily Immigration Dose, one of your favorite shows. We come here Monday to Friday around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So, thank you so much, each one of you, for joining us today as well. And before we head on with today's discussion, there is this important disclaimer I need to read. So, by watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. So, I hope you keep that in mind throughout this whole discussion today, friends. And you can also be a part of this, right, Sam?
Absolutely. By dialing up this number that is just on top of your screen 425 with the access code 988888. And friends, also don't forget to participate here by dialing up this number and also do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And also, we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and on X. And feel free to follow us on different social media platforms. We are available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and also on Instagram as well. So, once again, thank you so much for joining us here on Immigration Talk Show. And I think, Napasa, today the topic is very important and very fiery, right? Because today it's all about protest. So, we are going to talk about friends from raids to protest, why immigrants are taking to the streets. So many things are happening right now in the US, especially in 2025, and we are going to let you know how the protests are taking place and why immigrants are so angry. What is the reason behind it? One by one, but with that, friends, stay tuned and watch this webinar till the end. And ask any question if you have in your mind. And before that, I think Napasa, if you can let us know about the news update that's happening in the world of immigration.
Sure, Sam, it'll be my pleasure. And this news update I have is that, US restaurants are hit by labor shortages amid immigration crackdown. So, restaurants across the United States are facing a summer staffing crisis as our President Trump's intensified immigration crackdown takes a toll. Increased enforcement sweeps and new visa restrictions have triggered fear among migrant workers, causing many to stop showing up for work. So, in May alone, over 100 businesses in the Washington area were inspected by armed immigration officers, leading to widespread anxiety. And industry leaders warn that the crackdown is worsening an already strained labor market. So, especially, for a sector heavily reliant on immigrant workers. And with the recent revocation of temporary protected status or TPS for Venezuelans, nearly 350,000 people are at risk of losing legal status, many of whom work in restaurants, by the way. So, experts say that this could drive up wages and make it harder to hire qualified staff just as peak season begins. So, this was my news update. And folks, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Over to you, Sam.
All right. And friends, let me go ahead with my news update. And I hope TikTok star Cabby, you all have heard about his name, but let's see what is the breaking news regarding him. So the news is that TikTok star Cabby Lame has been detained by the US immigration authorities. Yes, you heard it right. Let's go and understand what is the whole story. So, Cabby Lame, who is world's most famous and most followed TikToker with over 162 million followers, was recently detained by US immigration officials for overstaying his visa. That's right. The 25-year-old Italian citizen was taken into custody by ICE. That happened on June 6th at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. And authorities confirmed that Lame had entered the US on April 30th but failed to leave before his visa got expired. And ICE released a statement saying that he was granted voluntary departure the same day and has left and since left the country. So Lame is best known for his silent comedy, and we all have watched his videos, reaction videos that have taken the internet by storm. So, friends, this is a big breaking news that TikTokers are also not able to go ahead and follow the whole immigration policies. They themselves are overstaying, and how the ICE authorities are, without seeing the status or the background of anybody, whether that is a celebrity, whether that's anything. If they are the one who are not following the immigration policy, they have to go behind the bars. So I think these are very important news, friends, that you must understand and should be updated with yourself. Not only stick to yourself but also to your friends. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Okay, so with that, I think let me go ahead, Napasa, with our very first segment of our today's webinar. And let's understand, very basic way that why are immigrants protesting in LA? So we all know, friends, that in LA, it's so many things that's happening. People are scared, people are howling, and everything is happening on the street. So it all started, with series of very sudden immigration raids that happened by ICE in LA. And these weren't small actions. In fact, they were large scale operations at everyday places like Home Depot stores, a donut shop, and also a clothing warehouse in the fashion district. So these were the places where ICE raids just happened, without any information. And we all knew that know right now that ICE was targeting people they believed who were using fake documents, or basically who were illegal immigrants, and those who were living in the US illegally. And in just 1 week, they arrested almost 189 immigrants, and they detained almost 44 on just one day. That happened on Friday. And among them were five people who were tied to criminal organization. So as these raids happened, communities, reacted very fast and emotionally too. People rushed to the locations, and they also blocked ICE vehicles and shouted some slogans. And those slogans were like, ICE out of Paramount, you're not welcome here. So these are very strong slogans, that people have been shouting in the street. And the protest, this like spread like a fire, spread so quickly to other areas also, like Compton and Paramount, and people blocked freeways. So this is a very important thing that's happening, and we all should be aware about what's happening over there. And in some extreme cases also, you won't believe that even they set self-driving cars on fire. Yes, that's happening. In fact, there were so many videos that we have seen, and we have seen that how people are aggressively putting fire on the cars. And videos also showed that thousands in the streets were angry and afraid. And police responded also with tear gas and rubber bullets, and declaring that many gathering unlawful assemblies. So this wasn't just about, Nepal, about immigration paperwork anymore. I'll say for many in the community, it felt like they were scared, they are not able to have that difference between the safety and the fear, because immigrants right now are very scared and they're not able to understand what's right and what's wrong.
Yes.
So yeah, that's happening. And if you can also let us know, Napasa, what is the role of the National Guard in LA's protest, then that will be a little helpful for us.
Sure, I will. And what you've said is true. People are really very anxious, and see, like, even my news earlier, which I shared, it's making people not go to work anymore. They're not showing up at work just because they're afraid that they may not be able to see their family anymore, or, that they may also be detained for some reason. Even though, they may have all their documents and everything, they are all worried. It's just caused a lot of fear, anxiety, and yes, it is true what you just said. So now coming back to, yes, what is the role of National Guard in LA's protests? So as the protest grew, the federal government decided to send 2,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles. So this was, done without the direct approval of California's governor, which led to some disagreement, by the way, between the state and the federal officials. So this is what is happening right now. There is also, some disagreement going on in the higher ups. So from the federal side, the decision was explained as necessary to keep order and prevent violence. Some state leaders, however, they felt that it might make the situation more tense. So California officials said that the deployment could add confusion and fear, especially in communities already feeling stressed. And there
Mhm.
are also, there are concerns about how these decisions were taken, and like how were they made, and whether there should be more coordination between the local and the national leaders. And I'm sure folks out there also, you all have your opinions, and I would really like to know what you also think. Do you think that this was, I mean, of course, we cannot question our national leaders, they are taking care of all of us. So, but then this is also from the point of view of the local leaders, rather, who also have some things, or rather their duties, which they're in charge of. And without being informed, suddenly 2,000 National Guard troops showing up, well, definitely has created a lot of fear. So let us know what do you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I hope you're resonating with our content, and don't forget to also share this with your friends and family out there who could benefit most, and maybe even share their opinions and point of views. So yes, our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Check us out not just here on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, on Instagram as well. Stay connected with us. And Sam, if we can just continue, with this discussion, because we had this uh, last show about the Boulder attack and what happened at the Boulder's Pearl Street Mall as well, could be a highlight here.
Absolutely. And I think this is another very major impact and the incident that, we should highlight and we should understand. So what was supposed to be, a peaceful protest in Boulder, Colorado, has actually turned into a very horrifying and violent incident on Sunday afternoon that we all have been through. Around 2 p.m. at the popular Pearl Street Mall near 13th and Pearl Street, protesters had gathered over there. And some reports say, that they were supposed to like demonstrate to urge the release of hostages by Hamas. But suddenly things took a terrifying turn and everything got here and there. And eyewitnesses reported that the protesters were attacked with fire, and there were violence, of course, and some claim that the attackers used Molotov cocktails, also homemade fire bombs, and others even said that they saw a flamethrower being used as well. Social media users describe the scene as a kind of a war zone, and when we are saying that people are considering that scene as a war zone, then we can understand that how pathetic the situation has been, right? In fact, one local member also posted that multiple people attacked protester with fire, several injured, including children. So at this time, I think there's no differentiation, between women, children, and other people. It's like everybody is being treated equally, whether it's protest, whether it's being arrest or deportation or anything. In fact, photos also emerged online showing that police arresting a man near the scene, but officials have not confirmed yet if he is the main suspect or not. At this point, I'll say the motive behind the attack, remains quite unclear, as nobody has given a proper statement regarding the incident, why they are doing it, and those who have been arrested, what were their background.
Mhm.
In response, the Boulder Police Department also immediately, they evacuated this area, and they also issued the message by saying that we are evacuating the 1200, 1300, and 1400 blocks of Pearl Street between Walnut and Pine. So please avoid this area. So we can see that how the officials have been taking care of this, and they were trying, so that anyhow to have some settlement and to make people little, I would say, calm. As of now, police are still conducting a full investigation, but details are still limited and we don't have a proper clearance about the case. The number of injured people has not been officially released and no charges have been announced yet. So this is a very shocking incident, Nepasa, right? Like left the Boulder community shaken and has raised some very serious concerns about public safety at protest as well, because protest has never been this violent. But right now in US, we are seeing, especially people, those who are connected to international tensions, are really becoming violent, aggressive, and so many things are happening in a very negative way. So if you
Mhm.
can also let us know, more about the topic, then I think that will be easier for our viewers to understand what's going on.
Well, absolutely, Sam. And let's talk about, how are local leaders responding to all these protests?
Mhm.
Because leaders in California, and even other states, they have been sharing their thoughts on the recent events as well. If you have been following, folks out there, I'm sure you know about all of this because it's all over the news. And California's governor had said that, gave the federal response as well, that they should focus more on claiming the situation rather than making it more tense. So he had also asked for a review of how the National Guard deployment was handled. So, and on the other hand, we also have Los Angeles Mayor Bass, who also shared concerns, saying that actions like surprise raids can, create fear among families and children. So, like you said, they are treating everyone as equal. There is no
Yeah.
women or children here anymore. Like
Mhm.
it is happening, and they're doing their raids, and it's like everybody, the whole family, and there's no differentiation made. So other elected officials have also spoken up to this, whatever is happening around these situations, and they're calling for a clearer communication and cooperation between different government levels.
Mhm.
And the goal, that everybody is talking about is it should really be to keep people safe. I think
Yeah.
people's safety is most important. Keeping people safe and make sure that any immigration enforcement is done in a fair and a respectful way. I think everybody deserves that, no matter what the action, but they do deserve, especially if you're talking about families and children as well, right? And that brings me to this comment that I just want to quickly read from Maria Daniel. All this is happening because sanctuary cities are not cooperating with ICE. So could be. Yes, Maria. This is another very important point. Thank you so much for bringing it up here in the discussion. And please feel free, all of you folks, to join us here. You can also dial in this number, which you can see on the screen above. The number is 425-436-6335, and the access code when they ask for it, just dial 988-888.
That's right. And Robinson is also here, and so many friends have also joined us. So, friends, go ahead, dial up this number, and also subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And I think, Napasa, I would just like to say something about Maria. You have pointed out this very important comment. All this is happening because sanctuary cities are not cooperating with ICE. Well, we don't know exactly why these are happening, and what's making feel so, what's making everything so aggressive and violent and everything. But I think right now we can see a differentiation between the two communities, right? Local communities and the federal communities. So we can see that so many people are not cooperating with the officials as well. Don't know why. Maybe they are not okay with the strategies that they are following. But friends, I'll say that don't know whether you should cooperate or not, or what you have to say, but it's better to stay true to yourself, be honest. And if you have documents, if you are legal here, and if you have everything right, then I think nothing is going to stop you to achieve your dreams in United States. So be little confident, be little positive, and just stay true to yourself. That's what I can say. And okay, let me talk about another very important point, that what is the solution and what can be done right now. So, after all the chaos for immigration raids to violent protest, I'll say what is the solution? So, first of all, friends, we need to be finding some peaceful ways to talk about immigration. That's right. Fear and violence is not going to solve anything. In fact, it's going to ruin everything. Communities should feel safe, not scared, and that's very well put up. In fact, next there must be open dialogue between local leaders, federal agencies, and the people. I think right now in Nepal, people are so much full of thoughts, but they are not able to speak up clearly, and they are not able to be, they are not getting that thing to be vocal enough. So I think if they are going to be little communicative, little initiative, if they'll take the initiative to have a conversation, then everything I think they'll need us will be settled. And immigrants, city officials, and lawmakers, they all have to sit together and have a conversation, at least what's happening and what's hurting them and what's not hurting them, because we also need to support, fair and humane immigration policies. So I think that means protecting families, also treating workers with respect, and making sure that laws are clear and following it correctly. So most of all, we need to work together to build a country, where everyone feels safe, heard, and valued. So I think that's how the real change is going to be, with understanding, respect, and unity. And that's the only way, right, Napasa, we can look for a better, peaceful country and a more successful one as well. What do you have to say?
Absolutely, Sam. And to what you're saying, I really hope that it can be attained as soon as possible, because what is really prevailing right now is a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and it's not a good situation for many migrants here in the United States. I know, like you said, I wish there was better communication. They would all sit together, discuss, but it's easier said than done, especially if you're talking about what the migrants want. Who are they going to reach out to? Who are they going to speak out? What do they want? Or, how awful they're feeling? Because it's not just one or two, but it's thousands and thousands of them. And of course, there is, on the other hand, we have our President Trump, his administration, we have the locals, we have in between the sanctuary cities. There's a lot here going on, and definitely it's become a little chaotic because suddenly there are a lot of things, and every day it's very interesting. So a lot happening, in the immigration world, and I'm sure folks out there also, you have a lot to say. So do share with us whatever you think is going on, and maybe what could be done. We'd really like to hear.
I think let's take up Robinson's comment. He has given us a long comment to read. So, hi Robinson, and thank you so much for your comment. If you are new to our channel, then please go ahead and subscribe to our channel right now. And also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that whenever we come live with these amazing shows, also we have shows with immigration attorneys. So, I hope you shouldn't miss out those. Okay, he's saying President Trump's order banning citizens from 12 countries from entering the United States has come into effect amid rising political tension over his administration's harsh anti immigration policies. Trump said the countries subjected to the most severe restrictions were determined to harbor a large scale presence of terrorists, fail to cooperate on visa security, and have an inability to verify. Okay, there's more. Yeah, inability to verify travelers' identities. These countries were also inadequate in keeping records of criminal histories and had high rates of visa overstays in the US, according to Trump. All right, thank you so much, Robinson, for putting up this very important point, and that too in detail. That's really great. Absolutely, I think you have mentioned it correctly, and what the administration are, taking care. They just want to have main motto in their mind that they have to secure their country from the illegal immigrants, and so many things are happening. Illegal immigrants are those who are having criminal background. Of course, they are suffering. They have to pay a lot of money, or else they are being detained, or facing some very bad repercussions as well. So I think this is what is happening, and let's see what's going to happen more. And with that, Nipasa, if you can also take up Nishu's comment too.
Sure, it'll be my pleasure. And hi, Nishu. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. If you haven't as yet subscribed, subscribe now. So Nishu is saying President Trump has deployed at least 300 National Guards on ground in LA to maintain law and order and protect federal personnel and property. It is the first time that a US president has called the National Guards without the state's approval. California Governor Gavin Newsom has said that the state will file a lawsuit against the Trump administration over deployment of National Guard and termed it inflammatory. But thank you so much, Nishu. Yes, that is the exact news that you have put up here, and it is what is happening. But like you have put in your message as well, the how to say, the federal side of the government, they're not very happy, but the National Guards, they thought that this is the right thing to do, and they took the action before they could really have it on conversation. So thank you so much, Nishu, for putting this up. And yes, but this has happened already. So let's see what's going to happen. But I think the interest is the same. And they want to, have more peace, rather. So let's see. More than
Absolutely.
protests, more than raids, they do want to have more peace. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely. And I think that's all, because we can make a better nation together by being together, by respecting each other, giving value to each other. So I think it's better, friends, to be little vocal. Of course, you have right of everything, you have freedom of everything, but still, when it comes to laws, I think everything should have a limitation to it. So it's better to follow the rules and have the right path, and I think that nothing is going to happen to you if you're following the right path. And also, if you want to keep yourself updated regarding anything that is happening in the world of immigration, then I'll say that Immigration Talk Show is the best platform. Go ahead, subscribe to our channel right now. You can also share the link of this episode and webinar with anyone whom do you think is important to share this information. And also like to our video because we have worked so hard to get this webinar done. And with that, friends, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And Napasa, any last line to our viewers? Anything before saying goodbye to us, friends?
I think all I can say that, people are speaking out because they are all feeling whatever is being thrown at them. So they are also speaking out. And leaders, on the other hand, they are really on a spot where they have to make all these tough decisions. But behind every headline, also, there are real families, and there are individuals just trying to live their lives. So it's a mixed emotion right now going on in my head and heart. But nevertheless, this is the situation, and I do hope that it resolves as soon as possible. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here on Immigration Talk Show here on Daily Immigration Dose. It was lovely having you, and we'll see you again tomorrow around the same time. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that whenever we have discussions like these, you're also notified. And also, if you have anything to say or have any suggestions, like topics, for example, for us to discuss about, feel free to reach out to us. My email address is nipa@staffingly.com. And you can also reach out to me on my number, which also has a WhatsApp, by the way. You can call me also in this. And my number is 408-335-6444. And you can also email sam@staffingly.com. So thank you once again, friends, and y'all out there have a wonderful day and keep watching Immigration Talk Show. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.